gone ahead and I've ordered up a set of Winspace 2023 Hyper wheels. Now we do have an SE edition which has steel bearings, but unfortunately they're out of stock and they're no longer producing it, so your only option now is to get the ones with ceramic bearings. So what I'm going to do is a quick unboxing right now. I've had a little sneak preview and I love this message. You just got faster. I think it's fantastic. And I've had a little look inside and I've kind of wondered, are there reviewers out there who've unboxed stuff and it's been like a complete disaster? So we're about to find out. So from the top, we get a leaflet about the Green Commute Initiative. We have some details about the Winspace wheels and where they came from. They're just kindly asking for a review. Now this, I thought, was a really, really cool gesture. In the past, I've ordered Hunt wheels and you get like a little paper envelope with a couple of spokes in and I think a couple other bits and pieces. This is really cool. You get this little bar bag as well. I think this is really neat. And it says on the back here, if you want to see it. So what I think they're trying to achieve here is by using less plastic, that you kind of get a 2-in-1 here. You've got a really cool bag and you can store your accessories inside. So having a look inside there, we have a little instruction manual. And it was actually quite interesting reading this. I'm one of those people who likes to read the instruction manuals because sometimes you'll find something useful in there. And what I thought was quite interesting is that this wheel set is rated for a 135 kilo rider. It's quite a large number. I see some bikes and wheel sets only go up to say 100 kilos, so that's really cool. We get a couple of plastic tire levers. I've seen a video for getting tires onto these rims and I really recommend you only use plastic tire levers. We get 2 quick release skewers. I've got some really nice ones on my bike, but these are incredibly handy if you're traveling. Even if you've got disc brakes, if you have a bike box Allen, I believe they only support quick release skewers. I've got one when I went to my trip to Mallorca and it is completely bent. So it is well worth bringing a spare set just to transport the wheels with. And finally, the best till last, I have been really, really curious about these brake pads. So one of the reasons I brought these wheels, and living in England, I'm gonna have to test this out at some point. I've had a set of Zip 303 wheels and they're also carbon. And one of the big things I've heard about riding carbon rim brakes is that the performance in the wet is awful. And I've heard it from Durian Rider, I've heard it from Reginald Scott, and I've heard it from a few others as well, that these wheels stop almost as well as disc brakes in the wet, that there are 0 issues. And one of the big reasons why is because of the pads. On the Zips, I've been using Swiss Stop Yellow Kings, and I believe and I feel that they stop almost as well as disc brakes. I know it's a really controversial statement to make, but I feel like the stopping performance is 100% there. I just haven't tried them in the wet because 1, I'm not a masochist, and 2, I'm a fair weather cyclist, so if it's raining, I'm not going out. And so I had a little look at these because a lot of people, from what I've read online, have said these pads work better than anything else with the Winspace wheels. And it kind of makes sense, right? They make the wheels, they probably make the brake pads as well. And supposedly, these may be made by Swiss Stop. So having a little feel, I know you're probably waiting here for the unboxing, but I feel like this is a really important bit, is because if these stop as well as people claim they do in the wet, then this is fantastic. Feel of these, they're an interesting consistency. So if you've tried Swiss Stop Yellow Kings, they're really squishy and they're kind of tacky. You can feel it in your hand. And if you've tried the Black Prince, they're really tough. And this is sort of like I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's almost like a halfway house between the two. It's sort of not quite as tacky, but it's more flexible and pliable than a Black Prince. So really interesting brake pads. Looking at the wear limit and things on there, it looks like it could be Swiss Stop. And I wondered because Swiss Stop used to make a set of grey pads for the Zip carbon rims. And I wonder if these are those pads. But I'll be trying them out. So I'll be leaving the Yellow Kings and I'll be trying out these pads. My only concern, and I'm gonna have to ask Winspace about this, is if I can order some more of these up. Because if they work as well as people claim, I am really interested to try these out. I might be probably one of the only people looking forward to a bit of rain to actually try these wheels out in the wet, but hopefully they stop as well as people say. So now let's get into the actual unboxing. Okay, first things first, what is super impressive to me is just how light these wheels are. I've tried some Hunt wheels in the past and they felt like mega light. These just feel even lighter. I'm not sure if you can see that in the sunlight. I love this pattern. That is just so cool. Carbon spokes as well. It's my first time ever using carbon spokes. What is really cool, and I'm not sure if you can see this as well, yeah, it's got a tubeless valve in it. That's really cool. I didn't expect that. Now, admittedly, I don't use tubeless, but I am so impressed. And what's really interesting to me is the brake track isn't textured, and it almost blends in with the patina. So I wonder, because my zips have got a slightly textured, it's like dots on the surface. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this stops. This is going to be a little unboxing here, but I am just so blown away by these. They are just so light. I can't wrap my head around it. I know some of you have probably got some really expensive wheels and have held some super light carbon ones, but these feel even lighter than my zips. This is just insane. I love the pattern on these as well. It is just so... I'm like a kid at Christmas right now. I feel like even for this pattern alone, they stand out. I was at Windsor the other day and I saw a guy and his wheels had the same pattern. Straight away I knew he's got Winspace. It is so iconic. It's really cool. And pretty neat as well that it comes with this tubeless valve. Like I say, I don't use it. I'm instead going to be using TPU tubes. But yeah, I suppose the next thing I've got to do is put the tyres on, put the tubes in, not in that order, and we'll test these out. But I am just blown away. Probably shouldn't do that, but I am blown away at just how light these are. They are just blowing me away, and I love this pattern. You know when you pick something up and it just feels like it's going to be fast? That's how I feel about these. They just feel fast. I haven't even put them on the bike yet, but these feel like they're just going to be like blindingly fast. So thank you for watching this unboxing, and I hope to catch you soon in the full-on review. Hopefully not in the wet for our first ride, but it looks like it's going to be good weather, kind of rare in the UK. So I'm really excited to see how these come out, how they perform. Yeah, I'm just so excited. So I'll catch you in that next video.